To grasp the concept of eternity, one must grapple with the idea that something as immense as the universe can continue forever. But what is this reality we experience? To grapple with reality, we must first begin with what we can know for sure. We can know for certain that we feel. By feeling, we know something is real. One's memory may take one back to a time where one was small enough to be carried. Beyond this, one relies on memories of parents and grandparents. They may have also spoken of their parents and grandparents, and if one continues, the generations continue into the past longer than anyone alive can recollect. But the question is, how much time is necessary to completely complete all of the past, beyond human generations, beyond the beginning of life on Earth, beyond the creation of the planet, the star, and even the galaxy? No matter how long the past, it's impossible to not have already completed the past completely, so concepts of eternity run into a physical hurdle called infinite regression. In a nutshell, if the past is eternal, how did you ever make it to the present if you haven't completed the eternal time in your past? In order to be in the present, everything in the past has to be transgressed already. Path covered. But an eternal path can't ever be completed, therefore physical timeline can't be eternal going backwards in time. Capiche? Now wait a minute, are you saying that there is a definite beginning to our physical universe? The short answer is yes, slightly longer, but clearer answer is, hell yes. Then how did it just begin to move? Why didn't it begin to move an eternity ago? Long enough for the proton to have already decayed by now? At least, why am I not already my supreme form? Humanity has pointed out the infinite regression problem at least several millions of times by now, and swear to their lives that this is enough proof that God is necessary to understand how the proverbial first domino can even topple itself over. Spoiler alert, it doesn't topple itself over. Moving on. In quantum physics, it helps to be mindful of Planck length and Planck time. And in regards to infinite regression, the question begs answering, what powers the smallest change possible? Because, as we have already covered, our physical timeline is dependent on outside support for it to manifest somehow, since it is incapable of toppling over its own first domino, so to speak. One possible answer is that the so-called dominoes in our space-time story is the inevitable cyclical nature of compression waves in a very light, almost superfluid-like gelatinous medium, where change is more likely to happen at center where particle hierarchy is born. As described in the previous video regarding particle hierarchy, please watch that video if you already haven't. It will reduce the chance of having very real-looking dreams of alien abductions. Moving on. The supergelatinous medium may allow for each domino to represent a particle type in this evolutionary phase of particle hierarchy, with each new stability being a significant percentage less than the previous particle evolutionary cycle. The strength of the chaos lessens as order absorbs it into new, more massive particles in hierarchical fashion, as described in the previous video, where they are depicted as self-affecting region of synchronized oscillations in the supergelatinous medium, via 3 dimensions of Conway's games of life code that creates warp constructs that pull on itself more than it allows itself to diffuse back into chaos. A ratio that severely favors the previous particle cycle, may allows for enough elbow room and flexibility for a universe of particles to be sustained. Hierarchy and supergelatinous medium may help solve this infinite regression conundrum. What do you think? Are we a fancy balloon animal of the supergelatinous kind? Leave your comments